Hello, everyone. This is FORRT, which is short for the Framework for Open and Reproducible Research Training, and we are Team Pedagogies. So I'm Julia, and this is
Georgia. Hi.
And today we are thrilled to host Dr. Rhys Evan, featuring his work on integrating open science principles in teaching and mentoring. Thomas is Associate Professor in Occupational Psychology at the University of Greenwich and a very active member of FORRT. His research focuses, among other things, upon using meta-psychology and open science practices to understand the quality of evidence in psychology. In particular, he will tell us about a 12-week module on evidence-based practice he taught last year. Make sure to check the links in the description below and on FORRT's website to find the resources he made available on the Open Science Framework. So now, if it's all right, I start with the first question. So, hello, Thomas. My first question to you would be, how did you come up with the idea and identified the need for this course?
Amazing. Thank you for having me. It's a genuine privilege to be able to chat more with you both and the FORRT community about this. It's something I'm incredibly passionate about and I get very excited about. So thank you for that. So this course, I think, is only one of the many ways in which my existential dread has manifested. And I think in many ways, I think we all are involved in research and do teaching and are academics or involved in the academic profile because we want to do good. We want to have a positive influence. And I think in these times, which have been quite unusual and variable, I think it's really hard to know how you can help, what you can do. And I think sometimes there's issues when knowledge is localized to a certain field that it feels like, how do I do good when everything is so compartmentalized? And I think the core thing for me was to try and break down perhaps what's shared across the ways in which different fields do research and the ways in which we teach people, to think more about the kind of the broader skills that underlie what I think is underlying, for example, open scholarship and many other things. And I think it's this need for more critical thinking, our ability and confidence to be able to question things, to look at the evidence and say, is that right? Are there other alternative interpretations of things? And I think this underpins everything we do in life. So even from a very basic point of view, we go shopping and we see that something has been reduced by a certain amount. Do we have those critical skills to be able to say, yes, but is this still better than going for this alternative product, which is perhaps slightly different, but has the same function? And so those kind of critical thinking skills that underpin so much of what we do, even in our kind of general day-to-day life, not even necessarily research life, is so important. And for me, I've become increasingly vocal about things like climate change and all these other things. And there's only so much I can do as one person. But I think what we need to start doing is to create better bodies of evidence and to create more convincing, quality, robust bodies of evidence and sources of evidence. And to do that, we need to teach that better. We need to teach the way, the critical mindset, the scientific mindset, if you will. We need to teach people and support people and give people confidence to be able to take that perspective and to question things and not just accept it's a paper written by somebody from a prestigious university. We should take that on good faith. Well, we shouldn't. We should have a look at all the different things that are underpinning that to make a more reasoned judgment. And so this course was based upon that general, all of those things mixed together, really, that we can do better in providing students and indeed general public with these sorts of general critical skills that can be used from day-to-day life, but then in research as well. I think that's probably it sounds quite cynical as well. It sounds a bit like everybody struggles with all these things. But I think there's a need for that, and particularly within my own field in occupational psychology, there's what's known as the evidence practice gap, where there's lots of people who are very good at creating evidence. There's lots of people who are doing things, but that there isn't really that joined up way of thinking. I think increasingly there's different strategies of trying to tackle that. But I think if we could change people's mindsets and ways of thinking about things, then perhaps we might get slightly closer.